Good morning. I hope you're all okay. You've been in Jewish education, the youngest of you, for 7 years, and the most senior students in the school. You're in your 13th year in probably a Jewish school, and in that time, you have learnt about Jewish traditions and Jewish thought, and you have met famous personalities, ones that go back thousands of years to the Torah: Avraham and Moshe, King David, Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, Rabbi Akiva, Hillel and Shammai, the Rambam, Maimonides. You've discovered and heard their ideas and learnt their teachings. But from time to time, and no one can determine when that happens, there arises a character, a personality who is so central to our Jewish existence, whose thoughts resonate and echo across all time and with all people, that when that person leaves the world, we must take a moment to reflect on a life lived, a life that has impacted you in ways you don't even know about. Who is this rabbi? This is the former chief rabbi, Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who sadly passed away on Shabbos morning. Why him? What makes him so special? From all the rabbis that you've heard, why do I want you to pay particular attention to his life and his legacy and some of his teachings? You know, when you were younger, you had a box of toys and all the pieces in the box looked the same, but you knew you wanted one particular piece. Say you were building something out of Lego, you wanted that one Lego piece that would finish off what you were building. And to someone looking at that box, every piece was just a similar type piece. One was a 3 or a 2, a long or a flat piece. But when you found that piece that did what you wanted it to do, you knew you had that special piece in your hand. Well, Rabbi Sacks was that special type of rabbi that was respected by Jew and non-Jew, young and old, in this country and in all over the world. He was that special character that we must stop today for a moment, listen, and see what we can learn from amongst his thousands of different teachings that can make our lives better and more meaningful. When we go through school, we know who our teachers are. And teachers generally, if they've got some sort of sense, know who their students are. They're the ones listed on your register. They're the ones in front of you. When it came to Rabbi Sacks, he could never possibly have known who his students were or who considered him their teacher. Literally thousands of people for decades looked to him, listened to him, whether it was on Radio 4 in the morning on BBC Radio or on television or all over the world, sharing his wisdom and his insights into life. I always felt that when he gave the thought for the day on BBC Radio 4, the presenters afterwards were in awe of what he had managed to say, to encapsulate such profundity in just a few moments that they went, and that was thought for the day from former Chief Rabbi, Rabbi Sacks. Something different happened when he spoke. You should know that we are very privileged, very honoured. We teach his ideas in our school. Perhaps you wondered, where did the rabbis get these ideas from? Well, we have an entire curriculum in Year 9 that is based on his teachings. In fact, we took his teachings and made lesson plans from them, so you too could consider yourselves students of Rabbi Sacks. But I want to share with you a number of his teachings as they relate to education. And he wrote some many years ago. He received an invitation to lunch with the Prime Minister. That sounds like a fun thing. Go to Downing Street, kosher meal. No, it can't get better than that. But at the same time, he received an invitation to take part in the opening of a new Jewish school in London. Both events were on the same day at approximately the same time, and he wouldn't be able to get to both events. Which one would he choose? And listen to what he says. Governments sustain society, but education sustains the world. On that occasion, I regretfully declined the Prime Minister's invitation and opened the school instead. Do we even appreciate the gift of what school can give us? Rabbi Sacks reminding us what the power of education to transform the world. Education means teaching a child to be curious, to wonder, to reflect, to inquire. The child who asks becomes a partner in the process, in the learning process, an active recipient. To ask is not to be foolish. To ask is not to be ignorant. To ask is not to show that you don't understand, but to ask is to grow. This another one of his famous teachings. And finally, to defend a land, you need an army, but to defend freedom, you need education. And in this particular thought, he was asking, go back to the ancient world. Their civilizations and cultures have long gone. What remains are buildings. Somehow the Jewish people are here throughout history. Thousands of years we have survived because what we prioritized was education. He spoke on so many different areas, but let's take the message to educate is to change the world. Be privileged, be grateful, be proud that our people produce somebody of the caliber of Rabbi Sacks. We're now going to show you one of his animation videos. Listen carefully, take it to heart. Continue learning from us, and we will continue teaching his Torah, his knowledge, his wisdom to you. He was that one special character. He is missed throughout the world, but it's unbelievable the outpouring that took place after Shabbat when news of his passing became public knowledge. May his memory be a blessing. Let's make him proud by living up to the ideals that he espoused. Be proud to be Jewish because it's ours. Have a very good day and a lovely week.